Hey, I'm Josh with America's Home Place. We're out here in Scaly Mountain today. We're going to do a site eval on a piece of property that I've actually already been to once. So I was out here earlier this week. A young man and his sister are wanting to build a house with us, and their father had bought this big parcel of property, and he was going to go with another builder. So they have called us back since my last site eval, and they're now wanting us to do an evaluation on his property as well. So there's a good possibility we may get 3 homes out of this whole parcel, and we'll get to them all at one time. So as you can see behind me, we've got some survey markers. We think that the orange flags are the proposed driveway going up to the father's site. And again, we're not real sure how big the site is or how big the parcel is that he bought. But we're going to go up on the hill here and check it out and see how long we think the driveway is going to be, try to evaluate how much gravel we're going to need, what kind of clearance is going to be involved. I know that it lays really good up there. I looked at the topos before we came, so there's a really good building site available. We just need to find it and see what all is involved in building it. As you can see, as we're walking this proposed driveway, there is some slope to the land, so we're going to need to go ahead and assume that we're going to need culverts to divert water. So in essence, what we're doing is we come in here and we cut out a flat slope for the road, and then we bank it back to a ditch on the upper side. Every 150 feet or so, we will need some kind of drainage culvert to pop it across the road so that it don't gain so much momentum that water does that it washes the road out. When trying to find that good lot to build your mountain home on, it's always a good indication if you see rhododendron or laurel, there's a very good chance that you might be into a lot of rock. So always take that into consideration. Another sign that we look for is if we have big permanent trees that have been here for a long time, more than likely the soil has allowed those roots to get in deep. So that's a good indication as well. If you come and see a bunch of scraggly little new growth trees, then more likely than not you're going to encounter rock. We think we finally made it up to the site location. As you can see behind me, this knoll right here has a very flat feel to it. We can expand the house either way. There's going to be a 180-degree view from that way all the way back here behind me. And with this homeowner owning such a big tract of land, there's going to be no restrictions. If he wants to come in after we're gone, then he can clear as much view as he wants. Right here in front of me, we've actually got a test pit. So the county that we're building in right now has been out to evaluate the soil conditions to see if they can accept a drain field or not for septic. The hand augering that they did may not have been enough, so they required a track hoe to come out and dig the little test pit. Now that they've evaluated that soil, they have got flags in right through here on contour for what is the proposed drain field for this septic system. In North Carolina, our soils pretty much in the mountains, they maintain for a 3-bedroom that you end up with 180 feet of total drain field line. So what they have laid out here is 3 60-foot sections. And more likely than not, they've got the initial up top and the repair right below it, but they won't lay out the repair area. Now when I was here earlier this week, the son's property is actually straight off down through there. And his question to us is, can we use this proposed driveway for the father's home to get to his house, as opposed to going straight up a mountain and it being a very steep driveway for him? We could definitely do that. We just need to measure some additional road footages to make sure we encapsulate as much gravel as we need, and to figure out how many more trees that we're going to have to take down to put the proposed driveway in. So now that we're up on top of the hill and we're all sweaty and nasty and dirty and we've been cut by a bunch of briars, we've done the site evaluation for where the house pad's going to go, and we're going to start back off kind of the way we came in, but we may go a different route to see if we can get any kind of better driveway in as opposed to what the surveyors laid out. Well, let's check it on out. As you can see, the slope's not going to get much better if we come up higher. The only good benefit is that we're not crawling our hands and knees through all the rhododendrons to get here. So we made it back down the road now, as you can see. Overall, pretty impressed with the site. It's got some great opportunity. It's got a very good pad to build on. Obviously, the road is probably going to be the significant cost of getting everything started with the process. I'll have to go back and take my measurements, and where I can sit down at my desk and evaluate how many length of road I've got, how many culverts I'm going to determine I need. So in closing, there's not a whole lot of big issues. We've already got septic in the works. We'll need to talk to the power company once the homeowner's right to determine whether and where the power is going to be coming from. So now that they've got the septic laid out, obviously they can put a placement for the well too, so that'll be the next order of business. But pretty much a great site, no complaints whatsoever. Just aim to right and we'll start building.